Then came the accident. March 2019, I was repairing a structural beam at the municipal building. Safety harness failed. 40-foot fall onto concrete. Shattered left wrist, torn shoulder ligaments, 3 compressed vertebrae. Doctors said I was lucky to be alive. Lawyers said the settlement was smaller than we hoped. Enough to live on if I was careful, not enough to keep working with my hands the way I used to. That night in the hospital bed, I asked Amanda, "What am I going to do now?" She was 17, about to graduate high school. She held my good hand and said, "Dad, you're going to watch me get into Harvard, and then you're going to be proud." 6 months later, the acceptance letter came. Full academic scholarship covering tuition. Room, board, books, and expenses would run another $23,000 a year. I looked at my bank account, at my settlement money, at my daughter's face when she opened that letter and said, "We'll make it work." And we did. I sold my truck and bought a cheaper one. Moved from a 2-bedroom house to a studio apartment. Took every odd job my body could still handle. Garage welding, handyman work, tax prep during filing season because I taught myself accounting to keep us afloat. Amanda graduated, summa cum laude in 2023, with a degree in international business and a job offer in Beijing before she even walked across the stage. "Daddy, I'm going to make you proud. Everything you sacrificed is going to be worth it." I believed her. Maybe that was my first mistake. The email with the blank subject line arrived while I was lying in bed checking tomorrow's weather for a small welding job. When I opened it, Amanda asked for an immediate video call. My stomach dropped. Midnight wedding problems are never small. I called. She appeared on screen in what looked like a luxury hotel room in Beijing, hair pulled back, tired and stressed. "Dad, the ceremony is going to be conducted entirely in Mandarin. Kevin's family has very specific cultural requirements. They feel it would be more comfortable for everyone if the actual wedding ceremony was limited to family, members who can fully participate in the traditional elements." "Amanda, are you telling me I can't come to your wedding?" She closed her eyes. The ceremony portion. "Dad, we think it would be better if it was Mandarin speakers only. I'm your family." "You are." "Of course you are. But Kevin's family is very traditional. Their worried guests who don't understand the language might be disruptive. Then the real bomb. She and Kevin had already been legally married for 2 weeks in a civil ceremony. The big traditional celebration I was paying for was this coming Saturday, 4 days away, and I was only invited to the reception. I hung up. I sat in the dark staring at the wire transfer authorization on my kitchen table. $220,000. Scheduled to leave my account at 9 a.m., money from selling my house, my settlement, loans against my tools and truck, for a wedding I wasn't good enough to attend. Wednesday morning I woke up at 5:30 out of habit, made coffee, and looked at 3 pieces of paper. The transfer form, my bank statement showing $251,247.83, and a photo of 12-year-old Amanda wearing my oversized welding helmet, grinning because she'd just laid her first bead. At 8:45 a.m., I was waiting in the bank parking lot. At 9:02 a.m., I walked in and canceled the transfer. 15 minutes later, the money was still mine. I closed the leftover college fund, too. By 9:45 a.m., I had $265,494.83 in my checking account and 0 obligations to anyone. I drove home and sent Amanda one email. "Amanda, after our conversation, I've reconsidered my financial contribution to your celebration. I respect your decision to honor Kevin's family traditions. I also respect your choice to prioritize their comfort over my presence. Therefore, the $220,000 transfer has been canceled and the educational fund has been closed. I wish you and Kevin happiness, Dad." By 10:18 a.m., my phone started exploding. I let it ring. By afternoon, the messages turned from worry to panic to rage. I picked up. "Dad, Kevin's parents are asking about the money. You're making me look like a liar because I uninvited myself from the wedding I was paying for? It's not about you personally. It's cultural. Then whose culture am I, Amanda? The one that isn't good enough to sit at the table?" Long silence. "They see a working-class American father. There it is." She tried every angle. Tradition, embarrassment, vendor deposits, family harmony. I listened until she said the sentence that ended everything. "I wanted them to like me more than I wanted them to respect you."
I hung up.
Kevin called next, polite and desperate, offering compromises, asking if maybe I could just pay and skip the ceremony. I asked how much of a discount I got for being excluded. He didn't have an answer. I told him to tell his parents their vendor commitments were their problem now, told Amanda her choices have consequences, and hung up for good. 3 months of silence followed. I paid off every debt I had, rented a small house with a garage, bought tools, and reopened Miller Welding Works, smaller mine and debt-free. Business took off. For the first time in years, I was welding again, building again, breathing again. Then one Saturday morning in August, 6 months after the canceled wedding, a car pulled into the shop. Amanda stood in the doorway looking thinner, older, the polish worn off. "Dad, I owe you an apology." She told me the marriage fell apart. Kevin's family had never saw her as anything more than an American trophy. When push came to shove, Kevin didn't defend her any more than she had defended me. The big traditional wedding happened anyway, fully funded by Kevin's parents once they realized my money wasn't coming. "They could afford it the whole time," she said quietly. "They just wanted to see if we would pay to be humiliated." She looked around the shop. I'd built with the money that was supposed to buy her new life. "I was ashamed of where I came from, Dad. I'm not anymore. I'm proud of you. I should have been proud all along." I picked up a spare helmet and handed it to her. "Remember what I taught you about welding when you were 12? That a good weld makes 2 pieces stronger together than they ever were apart, but only if both pieces are worth joining." "Exactly." She took the helmet. "Dad, can I learn again? Properly this time?" I smiled for the first time in months. "Welcome home, sweetheart." She put on the helmet, and for a moment she was 12 again, grinning under the too big mask. Proud to be a welder's daughter. Some joints are worth repairing, but only when both pieces are ready to be strong.